So some people still have complaints about the no-proc Cyrodiil right now, and I wanted to give my thoughts about Cyrodiil the way it is right now, and after playing in it with my hybrid characters, which aren't optimal for play really at all, because you can't wear a five-piece set with a hybrid character right now, since New Moon Acolyte isn't available, Innate Axiom isn't available, and even Perennials, which isn't that great in my opinion, even that isn't available to use. So anyway, point is, here's the thing: people say that no proc Cyrodiil is basically mostly dueling and maybe just you may have a few Zergs, but other than that, there's a lot of dueling going on. And I think that is because the thing is, when you have proc sets, right? A proc set can carry a player, and winning or losing a battle with a person who's wearing proc sets probably requires more than one person. And let's say if they're wearing, well, it depends on what they're wearing, and and it may just be that the only way you can get a win or WN Cyrodiil most of the time is by outnumbering them. And another thing is that when you play with proc sets, it can a proc set can carry a player, and you don't really know how good a player is because they're being carried by a proc set, and it doesn't feel satisfying when you win or lose because of a proc going off and you see it on your death recap and you look at that damage and you say, well, that's an instant. If I hadn't taken that damage, I would still be alive. And that's a damage that the player didn't actually um, earn or deserve. And so when something takes the game out of your hands like that, it becomes less fun. Now, when you take the process out of the equation, now you have an instance, now you have a situation where you don't have to outnumber somebody to kill them. You can kill them one on one now. And not only that, but you also get to kind of measure who is, well, how good of a player are you and how good of a player is somebody else. Now you're still going to get zerged sometimes because you still have players who are afraid to fight one on one, or you just have some players who just don't care. They just want to, if you're alone and there are like 10 of them, or even five or four or five of them, they don't mind just jumping you, and that's good. But don't complain when you get jumped back because that's what if that happens to me. If there's a group of three or four of you and one of your guys doesn't come over to beat me, instead you want to send three or four over to 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 chase me and to take me down. Fine, okay. Well, next time I see you, if I'm grouped up, I'm not like not if I'm grouped up, but if I see a group mobbing you, I may not just keep going. I may just join in. That's how I do it. Because if I see somebody outnumbered, typically I just keep going. But if I know or if I get the feeling that you were one of the people who outnumbered me, I may just join them in outnumbering you because you get what you put in. So I think when the proc sets are out of the equation, so now okay, people want to see. And I think also sometimes there's a more of a respectful environment too, where people are like, I just I want to have a good fight at least to see where this guy is at, see where I'm at, and and it's just it's just more respect too when you have let's say when you lose to somebody who isn't using procs. It's just their build, and yeah, some characters or some classes are still imbalanced, but for the most part, if you lose in a one-on-one, there's nothing to be salty about. You just lost. Take that L. But if a proc goes off or something like that, and like I said, that's an unsatisfying loss. You don't really feel like that was deserved, that was earned. So there's less respect there, as there is with no proc Cyrodiil. There's more respect for other players, and I mean that's basically it. If I let's see if I think of another reason here. And okay, look, another thing about procs is you basically you don't even feel like you're fighting a player. You feel like you're fighting their set. And if you're wearing a proc set too, basically it's your sets dueling it out for you. You know, you're just uh, there, but your sets are what's doing the damage, and your sets are what's saving you. So you basically have set versus set combat, not PvP or player versus player combat. And that's pretty, in my opinion, that's pretty gross. That's really kind of disgusting, and I don't like that about the game. And I don't believe the game should take control out of your hand and put it in RNG or put it into the sets that you wear. You know, like it's holding your hand. It's saying you can't do the damage, you can't heal, you can't save yourself. Here, let the set do it for you, and put on these training wheels and let the set do everything for you. And I really just don't see how people can enjoy that type of play. I just don't see it. It's not for me, and that's why right now I hate battlegrounds. Even though I wish the no-proc play would come to battlegrounds and Imperial City, because right now, I'm not Imperial City. Yeah, I wish they would come to Imperial City and battlegrounds because right now one of the worst things about Cyrodiil is that there's too much horse riding. Number one, number two, and that would stop some of the dueling. If you had the no-proc play in battlegrounds and Imperial City, well, you may still have some dueling in Imperial City, but in battlegrounds that would stop. And um, and yeah, there's too much riding of horses around. Too much of that. And personally, I think there's just not enough incentive, really. If there was more incentive to kill somebody in Cyrodiil, then you would see it more. You would see more people just going out all out, in groups or whatever. But right now, what rewards do you get? You get a couple of items in the rewards for the worthy. You may get some transmutes, whatever. But I'm not going for Emperor. I really don't see any reason to really care, other than just I'm just out there to have fun. But I don't see any sort of reward in doing it really. And that's another problem with PvP is sometimes it gets boring because I'm like, okay, I kill a few players, but I'm not really getting anything out of it. I'm not getting any. Um, I mean, the gameplay should be fun enough to make me to be the experience should be rewarding, but really isn't this still not. you know, um, there were in Imperial City too. Not transmute, but the Telvar stones aren't a bad idea. They give you have something to lose, right? You have something to gain, something to lose by killing. But what do you do with those transmutes? You buy some some prismatic runes. Um, I guess they have some gear down there that you could buy with Telvar, but it's really not really. It's like I don't get it. It's not really worth it in my opinion. Um, so I think that if I had another point to make, I forgot what it was, but that was probably it. Increase the incentive for killing other players in Cyrodiil. That would help limit some of the dueling. And other than that, I just gave you the reasons why Cyrodiil is the way it is right now. But it's fine for me, whatever. I just go look for a large keep battle. If I just want chaos, I'll go look for a large keep battle and I'll join in. And that's how I do that. Other than that, no proc PvP is the best PvP. Proc sets are fine for PvE, but for PvP, they ruin the game. That's about it.